What is up, guys? Jake from One Hive here with the next game plan video. And this one, I don't know. It's hard to tell at this point. Another Asian clan. I'm afraid they're not going to give it their best effort, but we'll see. Maybe they will. Uh, Pretty close on matchup wise, town halls and all that. The first one we're going to look at is a Town Hall 10, number 2. And I think this is a very three-starable base. Let's talk about how we would do it. Um, the key thing here that I think it's three-starable is the Inferno Tower locations. Level 1, first of all, so that's makes it easier. And the fact that they're right there, one freeze can hit both of them. So bring in 2 freezes, especially if you have max freeze, you can lock this thing up for a while. And obviously you want to come in perfect spot for a jump spell right here to connect into the queen. You're easily going to get this taken care of. Send this in this direction. In fact, you might not even want to connect the this area up here. You might just want to wall breaker. Save the jump spell. The queen is going to come out. This entire section can easily be taken out with one golem. Both heroes, you drop a spell here. You're taking out the sweeper, which is a non-issue because of the way it's placed and the level it is there. But you can take this out, take the queen out, and then you can bring 5 lava hounds. At that point, if you've got 5 lava hounds, you can start sending them in from this direction. 3 and probably 2 right there, and just swarm, balloons, rage spell, and then a few back end balloons as these get, as these die and come across you. Obviously, you're freezing right here. You can just wreck this. When you can freeze both Infernos with 1 freeze, so you can bring 2 freeze and keep them basically locked up until your balloons are on them. And you can take the queen out with no golem. You can just send your at Town Hall 10, you should have a 35 plus king. It can tank for this. The queen can come in here and take all of this out. It's under leveled stuff. It's not in range of much. This Expo is going to lock on, but that's not a big deal. There's Teslas here, obviously, but before they get in range, this is going to get wiped out, and you're going to have so much left over. That's the thing on these lower level bases. If you can really utilize your king and queen, save not using a golem, and obviously here even not using a jump spell, man, you've got a leg up, and I think that base would absolutely get destroyed. So we'll see how it goes. That's what I would do. All right, next one we're going to look at, we're going to a couple Town Hall 9s because the Town Hall 8s were basically all the same and not good bases. This one is a Laloon attack to me, no question, just because of the setup. It's a very compact base, and when you've got a compact base, the balloons have less travel time, and they have better usage of the rage spells. So to me, that's what this base is all about. I would lure it. When you more and more, I'm seeing when you can lure and use your king and queen to take it out. You could even do a penta on this base. You could drop 1 or 2 giants right here. They're going to get the CC lure, and then simply bring them over to a corner. Doesn't matter what corner you do it at, maybe up here up top where it's real safe. That is a great usage of your king and queen because of the update, because of the fact that the pups tend to less likely go to those troops. If you can eliminate that, it's just going to be a phenomenal. You see that the air sweeper is placed in a completely worthless area. I mean, pointing to the middle of the base is not good. You're not even, at this point, you're not even directing where someone's going to attack from, because they can attack from this side if they want to. The air defense is going to go down before the air sweeper is even a factor. So not only do you have it where it's not it's not directing the attack, so you can't load up on one side of the base. It's too far away to even be effective at the side of the base that you're trying to protect, in essence. So that's a non-issue. I would send in I might send in a giant on this one or 2, get the CC lure, bring them up top, do the kill with the king and queen, and then just penta this thing. If I was doing that, I'd probably come in from this side, because you're going to get both pups possibly potential getting on that queen. So, sending in 3 basically here and 2 here, and then your loons, you know, targeted all across. Rage, and the reason being is that this queen's right in between those air defenses. So both of these pups, the ones that pop on this side and the ones that pop on this side, are going to be right on top of that queen. She's going to go down. And then, you know, a few back end loons here, just on these towers. And that's a wrap. Just a tailor-made my loon base. I think everybody would agree on that one. All right, let's look at one more. Number 7, boom, right here. What are we thinking on this one? You know, this base, I'm guessing there's got some Teslas here. Probably no double bombs. But honestly, man, this would be a really nice Valk attack, I think. If you did 2 golems coming in fact, probably a little bit wider than that. You could do like golem here to really soak up all that damage, create your big wide funnel for those Valks. If all of this is taken out, some wall breakers to get through this compartment here, and then a jump spell to let everything into the core. Once all that's dead and you send your Valks in, they're going to take this out on the way. They're going to get into the core, heal, rage. You know, maybe bring a lightning for the CC troops. You might not even have to. Once that's done and this whole core is taken out, obviously just some back end loons, you know, targeted around here, and that's going to be GG. So probably that's a very good base for Govalo. I would consider that. Obviously, it could be hogged. Not a good base for surgical hogs. You know, people talk about that a lot now. What bases are good, what bases are not. This is not a good base for surgical hogs. You can target these, but, you know, there's going to be a Tesla here that's going to pop on you. There's going to be a Tesla here. There's going to be some in the core. It's just, it's too compact for surgical hogs. Surgical hogs work better on spread bases to where the small groups of hogs can handle defenses, take them down, and then they don't have to deal with a lot of DPS coming at them. So not surgical hogs, but a 2-finger drop, you could absolutely wreck this base. Maybe even an Asian wall, because there's not just a tremendous amount. You know, if you could Asian this wall, this right here, look at all what you could take out without having to worry about spring traps. All of this would go down, and from there they would meet up into a nice hill right there. So you could Asian wall that, but honestly, that's a really nice Govalo base. All right, guys, you'll get to see at least one of those in the next recap, possibly 2. We'll see. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, Jake from One Hive reminding you guys to suck less.